Hello, this is Dr. Cooper here with Rangeline Chiropractic. Today we are going to be talking about posture and how it is attractive in photos and how bad posture is less attractive in photos. As you can see in some of these examples to the right over here, both pretty good looking people, but as you can see with their hunched like back a little bit, their head forward, it kind of makes them seem kind of like smaller, not as confident. And if we're going to say it, maybe just not as attractive as they could be with great posture. So why is posture so attractive? So according to studies, the main reason why posture is so attractive is symmetry. Symmetry is the number one reason because when people like rate like the best looking guy, best looking girl like in the world, like in those tabloids and everything, the first thing they look at is symmetry. Like how far away their eyes are from each other, their smile, their nose, and like their facial structure and all that stuff. So same thing kind of with posture. When you take kind of like a side angle of yourself, you're going to want it to be the most symmetrical as possible. As you can see, is like when you're standing up straight, that's definitely possible. When you're kind of like hunched over, shoulders are forward, head is forward. You're not, if you take that side angle, you're not as symmetrical, which according to the studies would make you less attractive. Some other reasons why it's so attractive, according to the studies, is people with the proper posture and specifically people who take up more space. So people who kind of shoulders back, head high, they appear healthy, confident, and successful. And then going off that, another study shows that we attract people with similar posture as us. So if you have a posture that appears that you're healthy, confident, successful, you're also going to attract other people who are healthy, confident, successful, compared to if you're walking around with terrible posture, you could attract other people with terrible posture who are not appearing like that healthy, confident, successful self. So how to improve your posture? One of the best things you can do to improve your posture is strengthen your core. The abs are kind of like the foundation of our bodies. They like to absorb a lot of the stress for us. So if we have a weak core, the muscles kind of tighten up in our core, which kind of leans our body forward, and we don't have like the strength there. So we use surrounding muscles to do that. And a lot of times we use our low back and upper back and surrounding muscles to kind of take the brunt of what our abs should be doing. So that can kind of lead to one, bad posture, but also like low back pain and just not great posture in general. Next is shoulder position. So this is a big one with like working at home, texting a lot, and all that type of stuff. When we're leaning over on their keyboard, our shoulders are kind of leaning forward. And for us lifters out there, a lot of us like to hit chest a little bit more than that back. And what that does is kind of strengthen our chest. So it's pulling ourselves kind of forward a little bit. And then if we kind of lackluster with our back, we're not getting that as strong, which kind of causes an imbalance to kind of move us forward. So what we can do with that is at work, make sure that we're kind of bringing our shoulders back, squeezing our scaps, kind of getting in a more neutral position. And then for us that are lifting, let's make sure that we're hitting our back days just as much as our chest days so we can even out those muscle imbalances. And then lastly, our head position. So our ears should be kind of right above our shoulder. It kind of goes back with like leaning forward on our keyboards and texting. A lot of times our head kind of leans forward. We call that forward head carriage. What that does is it kind of puts more tension and stress on like our upper back and neck because when our head's more in its natural position, it has more support from like the muscles, ligaments, and everything it's supposed to have support from. When it kind of lean forward a little bit, it's kind of using surrounding muscles that are supposed to kind of be relaxed in everyday life, but we're kind of activating those muscles to support our head because it's not in the proper space. So if we can get our shoulders, head back, we should be able to relax some of those muscles and give us a little bit more of an enjoyable life. So speaking on that, we'll talk a little bit about ergonomics. I know ever since COVID, a lot of people are working from home. Even now when people are kind of going back to work, we're still working at desks and stuff. So some main things that keep in mind is our eye level should be at the top of the screen, right in the middle of between the sides. So our eyes can hit the whole screen without having to like move our heads in a lot of directions. Our shoulders should be back and relaxed. a chair supporting your thighs. So what this means is we all have chairs that support our glutes, but it should go out a little bit further. So your thighs all the way down to your knees are also on the chair. This puts way less pressure on that low back. Forearms should kind of be parallel to the floor. So we shouldn't be like this. We shouldn't be like this. It should be nice and parallel. Our legs bent at 90 degrees, and our feet should be flat on the floor, not dangling, not on our tiptoes. For our shorter people out there that have their feet kind of dangling from their chair, if it's possible, try to get like a stool or maybe just like a stack of books so we can put our feet flat on the ground or on something. So as long as they're not dangling. And then another big one is to take breaks. I know this is tough, especially during the work when we're sending emails and getting projects done. We kind of get in the groove, get in the zone, and we maybe an hour or 2 hours pass by and we're kind of in like that same position. What that does is just keeps putting more stress and tension on our upper back, even low back, without taking like any breaks. If we could just kind of split that up, if we were have like an Apple Watch or anything like that, or just set a timer on our phone for like 30 minutes or even an hour, just stand up, walk around for 30 seconds just to kind of give those muscles, eyes, neck muscles, everything a break from the screen and kind of leaning forward. That will make a world's difference. So other benefits of good posture, I kind of talked about this throughout the whole PowerPoint, back relief. Our body was designed to be in a neutral position. So the more we're in proper posture, the more support we have from the muscles, ligaments, everything that's supposed to be supporting us. When we're kind of like off, leaning forward and have bad posture, we're kind of grabbing support from muscles, ligaments, putting more stress on muscles that don't need extra stress. So if we can get proper posture, we should find a lot of relief in our upper back, lower back, and just kind of our whole body. Another thing is it's proven that it improves your mood. So you can kind of like trick your mind in a way. It's proven that when you're relaxed, you're more happy and like upright, or when you're happy, you're more upright and have a more like natural open posture like this. And when you're kind of more in like a depressed, sad state, you're kind of more hunched over. So even if you are kind of like having a bad day or sad and you have like proper posture, arms back, head up, not forward at all, you can kind of trick yourself in a way to make yourself maybe a little bit happier than maybe you're feeling, because it sends those signals to your brain. And then kind of like the opposite way too. If you're in like a really good mood and you're kind of like in bad posture, you could be sending some messages to your brain, be like, oh, maybe I'm not as happy as I thought. And we don't want that because we want to make the most out of every day. Another benefit, a lot of people's favorite, is it makes you look skinnier because it lengthens your frame. And especially for the guys out there, proper posture can kind of make you have kind of like broader shoulders, bigger shoulders. And you can kind of get like that V taper that everyone kind of talks about. So looking skinnier is always a good option. So continued, proper posture can reduce headaches. I don't know if any of you heard of tension headaches before, but tension headaches is kind of like a band-like pressure that comes along your forehead that leads to a headache. And this is caused kind of by forward head carriage and tight neck muscles that, just by the name, so much tension that kind of goes up into the head that causes headaches. So like I was saying before, if we can kind of work on that posture, get the head back in the neutral position, relax those neck muscles, you should be seeing way less tension headaches than you are having right now. Another great thing is you get greater function as you age. So everyone knows the more you age, the more pain you have in joints, ligaments, muscles, all that fun stuff. So if we can kind of catch that early and have proper posture, we can make sure we're putting less pressure on those joints as early as possible. We don't want to like overdo it. Naturally, you're going to have some wear and tear as we age. That's just how it is. But if we can catch the proper posture sooner rather than later, then we can kind of make the most of it and not put more pressure on these joints as we need. And then lastly, boosted energy. Kind of what I was talking about before, like when we're in bad posture, slouching, it takes more work because we're activating more muscles, more ligaments to kind of stabilize our body. So if we can get back in that right posture, we can use less muscles, less parts of the body to stabilize ourselves, which we can use that energy to do other activities that we enjoy instead of using that energy to activate other muscles and make us just feel tired and sluggish after work. So how chiropractic care can help with posture. So what we do as chiropractors, we're going to get everything in proper alignment, which is really going to help getting in the right posture easier. If we have like a fixation in a vertebrae, that pretty much means that it's not moving properly. So it's going to be a lot harder for us to activate the right muscles. Getting in the right posture may seem like a lot more work than it should be. So if we can get everyone in that proper alignment, that should make the proper posture way easier. Going up, based on that, back in the proper alignment, it's going to release a lot of tension on those muscles. A lot of tension on those muscles, release some pressure on the ligaments, just kind of release some pressure along the body in general. And then it also fixes the postural imbalances. So we may have more pain on one side, more active muscles on one side. What we can do is do some muscle work and some exercises to kind of help even out those imbalances so we don't have any injuries due to overcompensation or anything like that. And then lastly, we're just going to wrap it all up. Proper posture is proven to make you more attractive in photos and just in life in general. A lot of people think like the first impression is when you first start talking to someone, but for a lot of people, the first impression is when they first see you. So why wouldn't you want your first impression to be, I'm healthy, confident, successful, compared to taking up less space, kind of hunched over and not appearing healthy, confident, successful? Proper posture is going to have you have more energy, so you can do things you like yard work, going for walks, playing with your kids. Just give you more energy, especially like after work, because if you're slouching all day, like I said, you're going to be activating a lot of those muscles. So you may be way more tired after work than you should be. So with proper posture, it could be a nice little kickstart for you when you get home from work and just be like, wow, I have way more energy than I used to have. And then based on that, if you can do more things that you like to do, you're just going to have a better overall life.